Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Sally Nugent and John Kay.
Our headlines for you today. Well, our chief political correspondent, Nick.
In other news this morning, the health divide.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, the 21st of March. Institutionally racist, misogynistic and homophobic. Those are the findings of a damning review of the Metropolitan Police published this morning.
Yes, Baroness Casey's report says that a boys' club culture is rife and that the force has failed to protect the public from officers who abuse women.
The Met Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, said the report prompted feelings of shame and anger, but also increased his resolve to bring about change. Our special correspondent Lucy Manning reports.
Well, in an exclusive interview with BBC Breakfast, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, said the failings at the Metropolitan Police Force have been damaging. Well, that report into the Metropolitan Police was not the only thing that we discussed with the Prime Minister yesterday afternoon. We had quite a wide-ranging interview at Downing Street.
Yeah, you talked about a lot of different subjects, didn't you? Including plans to stop small boats crossing the Channel, controversial pension changes announced in last week's budget, and, of course, the future of his predecessor, Boris Johnson. Our political correspondent, David Wallace-Lockhart, reports. Analysis, and I think Nick is right, isn't he? Really interesting what Rishi Sunak wanted to talk about and what he really didn't want to talk about. And you can judge for yourselves. You can see more of that interview with the Prime Minister here on BBC Breakfast. We're running it in full just after 8 o'clock.
I think we tried to touch on every subject we possibly could in the time that we had with him. Lots more to come. It's 13 minutes past 6.
Now, President Putin has told his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping that he's studied in detail his proposals for ending the war in Ukraine. Now, the family of a head teacher who took her own life after an Ofsted inspection have called for a change to a regime that they say is punitive.
Ruth Perry died in January after working at Caversham Primary School for 13 years. It was downgraded from outstanding to inadequate after a visit from inspectors, as Aruna Iyengar reports.
Northern Ireland's Democratic Unionist Party is set to vote against a key part of the government's new deal on trading arrangements following Brexit. You're watching BBC Breakfast. It is just coming up to 17 minutes past 6. Let's say hello properly for the first time this morning to Matt, who's got his own little rainbow. Let's take a look at this morning's newspapers, shall we? We're starting with the Mail
of Great Britain.
Too many of them. Let's have a look at this story. I think this is in the Sun today. And here we have a really rather special visitor.
Let's go from the Rovers to the Queen Vic. Oh, I've given you too much of a clue. I was going to ask you, who's this?
I love this. This is Hayley Hume, who is 5'9". She calls herself...
That we need more truck drivers and anyone can do it. It just goes to show nobody should be put off. This is interesting. Ai Weiwei, the famous artist, has recreated...
We've got a story now for all the hopeless romantics out there. We mentioned them, didn't we, a moment ago?
Love?
Love. Is it?
It's 22 minutes past 6. Important health story for you this morning, because new research shows that people in some parts of the country are 3 times more likely than others to need emergency treatment for lung conditions like asthma and COPD.
Around 1 in 8 deaths in the UK are caused by chronic lung disease, making it the 3rd largest killer behind cancer and heart disease. Our reporter Jim Reid has been to see how one hospital is reducing admissions.
Just affects so many people.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't affect you yourself, everybody knows somebody who's got some sort of lung condition.
Yeah, really important story. I know we will be covering it a lot more here on BBC Breakfast. It is now 6:27 exactly.
Still to come here this morning, tests as well. If you're a Tesco card holder, about what you need to do to maximise your chances, maximise your points.
Have you got every loyalty card going?
Yes, my phone is full of them. Yeah.
Have you?
Yes. You're not good on loyalty.
Terrible. I always say no. There's just too much.
Get your phone out.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'll help you.
We'll do it now while you get the news, the travel and the weather where you are.
See you in a second.
Honestly.